Last time on Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu and his new wife were living in marital bliss, welcoming a new addition in the form of a baby pup into their household when tragedy struck in a horribly ironic fashion. Two criminals, motivated simply by the desire to sow the seeds of chaos in the earth Buu had created, fired a shot at Buu's new friend, leaving him on the verge of mental collapse, having finally found another companion in this world willing to accept him in all his Saiyaman glory. Before Buu lost all the marbles he was keeping in the front of his boxer shorts, Satan paid the criminals a personal visit himself, reminding them in no uncertain terms he was the people's champ and solidifying in Buu's mind that he for the first time had found a true companion, someone who not only didn't fear his antenna and tiny vest, but was willing to go to bat for the things he cared about. After healing the dog and celebrating the maintenance of their found family, it seemed as though the beginning of Majin Buu's new lease on life was all but guaranteed. But this dream was short-lived, because in the following moment, Satan found himself on the receiving end of a bullet with his name on it. Even though Buu was able to heal the damage upon realizing Hercule didn't bite the dust, the resulting stress sent him over the edge. Following a steamy transformation, it appeared there were two Majin Buus and this planet wasn't big enough for both of them. Making quick work of Hercule's would-be assassin, the two Buus then set sights on one another in a surprisingly one-sided clash. Big Body Buu found himself the underdog for the first time in his short resurrection. In an act of desperation, Buu shot his candy beam in hopes of ending the fight early, but the move was turned back on him. And after being turned into a baked good like so many that came before, Eddie Griffin consumed his brother, leading to yet another far more insidious transformation. After narrowly avoiding taking his bottom buddy off the map, Buu 2.0 found his way to the lookout and demanded the presence of the warrior he was promised, where dire consequences were an inevitability. Piccolo pulled the only card he felt the Earth had left, requesting Buu finish his human extinction project while the warrior of legend rested up so he could give him the fight he was looking for. Buu contemplated for perhaps the longest minute in Big Green's career before beginning a belated 4th of July send-off that had deadly consequences for all remaining down below. Now with the Earth's population being reduced to a handful, what was Piccolo's plan to deal with Buu 2.0's impatience? Well damn, I gotta be honest. Out of all the outcomes I imagined, this definitely wasn't one of them. Let me change my loincloth and I'll go ahead and wake up the boys. My legs aren't what they used to be, so give me an hour to make my way there, get them a couple Capri Suns and we should be set. An hour? The hell is an hour? Oh, glad you asked, Boo. I think I can best demonstrate by using this comically oversized hourglass I stole from Popo's bedroom. When all the sand goes from the top to the bottom, our fighter will be ready to throw hands. Boo sat for maybe a solid 10 seconds before his ADHD kicked in and the intrusive thoughts won. Absolutely not, Green Man. I refuse. Piccolo knew that short-form content had done irreversible damage to this timeline. He had to do something quick before Buu 2.0's iPad kid tendencies proved fatal for the only hope the Earth had left. Look, Boo, if you won't do it for the love of the game, at least do it for her. I know you sense it. That right there is your big homie Hercule's daughter. And he'd be very disappointed if her dad's best friend couldn't at least give the Earth a fighting chance when he had the power to. Come on, bottom buddies for life, remember? I've grown familiar with recognizing Hercule's seed, and she does have the same scent. Fine, I'll wait. But when time is over, everyone here dies, including Satan's seed spawn. Well, Boo, that gave me a lot to unpack, but when you get to be my age, you learn to not look a gift horse in the mouth. Krillin, get your short ass over here. Wake up the boys, tell them to get in the room of spirit and time before I give them a one-way trip to the room of foot and bus ass. Really? But those two are already way too strong. Krillin, I don't know if all those rounds you've been doing with 18 has started to do damage to your head or not, but even you should be able to sense those kids don't have a snowball's chance in HFIL the way they are now. We need a miracle, and the only way that's happening is for us to get to the room of magical plot devices and cook one up. My favorite part of this, though, was after Piccolo gave his anti-pep talk and we the viewers are mulling over the fate of the universe, we get a cutaway to Tien and a wife-beater talking about some, man, what the hell's happening up that way? Because of course my thought is when the Earth is in the most dire straits it's ever been and goes directly to, I wonder what Tien's up to right now. While Boo has the Earth sitting sideways like that one Paul Wall track, our view returns to planet Kai where things aren't looking much better. Goku sensed that the planet Earth was down to its last 7-man roster, and everyone besides Elder Kai was damn near in shambles. Hey, Elder Kai, time is up, right? Shouldn't we have already finished this whole thing by now? Oh, you're absolutely right, son. The fact that we aren't must mean you have a little bit more mustard in those noodle arms than I gave you credit for. God damn it, old man, quit screwing with me. How the hell am I ever gonna wipe Majin Buu and lose his V-card if you keep... Yeah, real quiet now, huh, sport? Maybe you'll learn to put some respect on this old Kai's name. Sit your ass down and let me cook. Yeah, my bad, OG. Goku watched the exchange from just a few meters away, and even he was surprised at the increase in Gohan's power. Man, I always knew that kid had a demon in him. Just how much was he holding back? While Gohan left his pops looking crazy, Majin Buu was beginning to get real tired of looking at that hourglass, which seemed to be going nowhere fast. Piccolo was attempting to get the boys situated in the room of spirit and time, but while he was explaining how the Majin Buu situation had gone sack up from even what it was before, a certain black-haired bombshell had a few words to share with Buu 2.0. Hey you, yeah, the ugly pink thing in the Euro squad. These other sorry excuses for men up here might be afraid to give you a piece of their mind, but I'm not. You think you can just kill my firstborn and get away with this scot-free? That kid is our only chance of moving out the trailer park. Kami knows his father's only good for one thing, so you think you can just After a certain point, Buu had completely checked out. But as soon as he felt a nap coming on, he caught the nastiest fresh cut ever to occur on the lookout in the back of the head and damn near fell out of his genie pants. The whole lookout grew silent, with Roshi almost losing his lunch and Yamcha regretting the fact that he didn't listen to his intrusive thoughts and throw her off the damn tower when he was thinking about it earlier. How do you like your eggs?
Fried or fertilized.
What? I mean, fertilized, of course, but her response was unnecessary. Barely looking up from a squat, he turned the love of Goku's life into a hard-boiled egg, while all the rest on the top of the tower could do was gasp in horror and light relief that things in the camp would be at least 50 decibels lower now that Chi-Chi was lost. But Buu didn't let the poor woman stay hard for long, because just a few seconds later, he walked up to her previous position and turned her preference to scramble.
This is your brain on.
Yep.
Leaving Goten in shock and ensuring PTSD-related night terrors for the rest of the child's foreseeable future. Young Goten was prepared to lose his life for the delicious atrocity Majin Buu completed against his mom, but he was stopped in his quaking size 5 sneakers by Big Green, who refused to let all the work they put in since Buu's arrival get turned over easy by a child's temper tantrum. Goten, you park your nappy-headed ass on that railing right now and that's an order. I know you gotta be pretty scrambled right now seeing what happened to your mom, but I can't sit here and watch you crack. You and Trunks have become excellent fighters, and the only hope of bringing your mom back is for you and Trunks to train properly and eat that villain for breakfast. Yeah, Goten, let's go in that room of forks and knives or whatever and get super strong so we can fold Majin Buu over easy, turn him into an omelet. Goten was unsure what he was more angry about, watch his mom die in front of him, or all the egg-related puns the people that were supposed to care most about him were now assaulting him with. But one thing was for certain. He was going to kick Buu's ass for what he did to Ma Dukes, and that path began with getting even stronger than he was now. As Goten and Trunks began to train harder than they ever had before, Videl approached Big Green with a question that had been eating her up since they got there. Big Green, what is it? Is it true you don't have like balls, like actually? Regardless, I have more than your father. Next question. Sorry, I just had to ask, but what I really want to know is why does it seem like Majin Buu and my father know each other? It's so weird and I can't get myself to understand it at all. Well, Videl, I want to wait till you were a little older, but when a man and another man love each other very much, sometimes, you know what, let's approach this a different way. Basically, your father is Majin Buu's only friend. Instead of trying to reason with him through power like we always do, your father extended, among other things, the hand of friendship to Buu. As a result, Satan is the only human Majin Buu trusts. As much as I can't stand your lying-ass pops on principle, I have to admit he truly does deserve the title of Champion of Earth. While Videl began to feel what she could only identify as pride in her father for the first time since she was a girl, in no uncertain terms it appeared his time had run out as Buu let out a blood-curdling scream that seemed to shake the entirety of the planet. Time up. Oh, wait, Buu, it hasn't even been a half an hour yet. Majin Buu, with the flick of his finger, then proceeded to boom a hole directly through the lookout, right below Big Green's feet. They all knew what time it was. As Buu screamed at the top of his lungs, beating his chest, begging, pleading even to whoop somebody's ass, Piccolo only saw one way forward. It was time to fold. All right, Buu, you win. I'll take you to the fighter. With a shit-eating grin that may have rivaled even Kaioshin, Majin Buu followed Big Green and the two walked arm in arm through the many spiral staircases of the lookout to the room of bullets and crime. As he watched the former Guardian take the most haphazard route possible to the chamber, Dende began to realize Green's plan. If he could get Buu to fight in the room of spirit and time, even if the boys disappointed him again, which wasn't an impossibility, he always had the option of sending them away in the chamber like it was a trap out of Saw and ensuring Buu 2.0's rampage would end then and there. The lollygagging was all an effort to give the new Saiyan generation as much time as he could to train and recuperate, because every second was going to count in the upcoming battle of the brain damaged. But Dende wasn't the only one beginning to notice that this trip was taking an awfully long time. Hey, I've seen that charcoal leprechaun man 12 different times now. How much longer? Don't be rude, Popo's a saint. But anyway, the warrior you seek is all the way at the bottom. This is the only way to get there. The bottom? But we just went up the stairs. His time was about up. Piccolo adjusted his Neuralink frequency and made one final call. Boys, it's Green. Prepare yourselves. Buu was on the way sooner than expected. Don't worry, I can delay him for one more minute, which is about 6 hours your time. So rest up and be prepared. This won't be an easy one. Little did Green know, while he was planning, the boys developed a scheme of their own. During the week of their training, the boys progressed rapidly and at some point developed their fusion beyond the level of a vanilla Super Saiyan. Goten was ecstatic, because that meant they could transform right away and use all their energy to beat the tar out of Majin Buu. But Trunks, Kami help him, had a flare-up of his Vegeta genetics and decided that playing with their food would be a little more optimal. They didn't just train that hard for a whole week to wipe the floor with the big bad in less than 5 minutes. How could they flex? What kind of accolades would they receive? Didn't it make a little more sense to add some drama to the affair? Give the people a little razzle-dazzle. The whole story of the heroes pushed against the wall, all of a sudden calls upon a power they didn't know they had, that kind of thing. Then they win. Wasn't that a strategy far more befitting of a warrior of their caliber? And with a hearty giggle, Goten couldn't help but agree. And so the plans were set. Gotenks would spend most of his time sandbagging his time away, then in the final 5, he would lock in and save Gotham as intended. What could possibly go wrong? And you gotta give the homie Sensei Toriyama accolades here because he was working that pen. This whole section with Buu's introduction with Satan and his subsequent transformation low-key pokes fun at a lot of the shonen tropes even Dragon Ball itself found itself falling into at times. Rather than the day being won by the strongest fighter's absolutely insane earth-splitting transformation, or things being settled by the fusion of the children of the two heroes whose power level reached heights unforeseen at that point, it was a washed-up, habitually lying martial artist who ended up befriending the villain of the week rather than fighting him that came closest to gaining victory. Then you have the whole phenomenon of Gotenks in general, the fusion of two young warriors with truly damn near limitless potential to grow, who aren't hamstrung by their physical stature, but rather their mental immaturity that leads them to treat life and death battles like a game to be won in order to impress, rather than struggle to live and survive that it actually is. It's small moments like these that I've grown to appreciate in the Buu Saga that I just wanted to spend a minute to give some flowers to. While I'm over here giving flowers to the GOAT, Buu 2.0 is ready to put some flowers on the boys' grave. Hey, just a quick question, Buu. You hungry? I think Dende and Popo kept some leftovers over here. I'd be happy to— You're stalling. It's time to die. Damn, never mind. Nama can't even be a gracious host anymore, I guess. Anyway, put the hand back down. We made it. Big Green had done all he could do to give the boys as much time as possible. From here on, the fate of the Earth was firmly in the hands of Generation Alpha, and all Piccolo could do was throw up a bit in his mouth and pray. The door to the room of Porkies and Pines opened slowly, and the dense atmosphere of the space slowly settled upon Green and 2.0 as he eagerly awaited the arrival of the adversary he was promised. Da-da-da-da, Bus-Ass Squad, assemble! Echoed its way across the room of spirit and time. Green Man, is that them? Yeah, unfortunately. Buu should kill you right now for making him wait for this. Oh my God, we're so dead. Oh man, Big Green is the only one who showed. Can't believe we worked out this whole routine for a crowd of one. Whatever, time to kick Buu's ass anyway, I guess. Ready? But before the next syllable could even escape his lips, Trunks was sent sliding across the time chamber floor in absolute awe at the lack of shonen decorum this monster just exhibited. Ah, Christ, did you just sneak me, you pink jackass? The hell was that about? You have zero home training? You never interrupt a hero when they're in the middle of their power-up. It's a main character versus bad guy matchup 101 stuff. Get your ignorant pink carcass over by the coach and we're gonna run this back from the top. Hear that, Goten? Pretend that whole last 15 seconds didn't happen and assume the position. Buu was so baffled by the combination of bravado and ineptitude that the only thing he could do was what he was told. Buu went full NPC mode on the sidelines and awaited the ceremony, impatient but admittedly curious at what these supposedly powerful super fighters might be capable of. And exactly as Trunks ordered, the two started from the top, getting back in their starting position in quick and efficient order proceeded to fuse. As the room was bathed in light, Green allowed himself to breathe momentarily after registering that the boys executed the ceremony perfectly. While Buu, on the other hand, observed in silent astonishment at the new goings-on and found himself thankful that if nothing else, at least the little fly buzzing on the other side of the room was without a doubt entertaining. Yeah, and just like that, Gotenks has arrived. You, Buu, remember you. Buu nearly beat you to death once already. Yeah, someone's definitely embellishing things a little bit, huh? You got a few lucky punches off because the sun was in my eye and I was distracted thinking about my dog's girlfriend's laundry. Rest assured, you made the biggest mistake of your short life walking in here this time. Here comes the pain, Gotenks shouted as he rushed in full force, hitting Buu 2.0 with a kick to the neck, followed by a barrage of punches directly to the face. Yeah, bet you feel real dumb walking in here now, huh? Should've brought your buddy Satan, maybe you took it a tag team. After letting both his mouth and the punches fly, Gotenks was horrified when, after stepping back to admire his work, Buu stared dead-eyed directly at him without a single scratch to exemplify the work that he just put in. Can Buu attack now? Hold up, just let me tie my shoelaces real quick. Huh, we're actually dead for real this time. And here, with Piccolo's reality check, is where we'll call it. Tune in next time as Gotenks continues going toe-to-toe with Super Buu and their fated battle to determine the outcome of the Earth. Will the boys be able to take things seriously and shift into high gear to provide Buu the challenge he's been waiting for? Or is even their best a light appetizer for the newly transformed Majin Menace? Only one way to find out. Be easy, y'all, and catch you again in the next video.